Hello again. Welcome to Glen session number 12. I'm Ronnie Gibson, a scholar performer of Scots fiddle music based in Aberdeen, Scotland. Today we're workshopping two sets, the 91st and 95th pairs of tunes. These are the 19th and 23rd pairs as found in Glen's second book, 1895. You can download the sheet music you need to take part at glencollection125.wordpress.com. Okay, let's dive straight in with set 91. The Strathspey is Miss Lament of Lament, and the reel is Miss Susan Elliott. We're in the interesting sphere of G major. So without any further ado, we'll play Miss Lament of Lament, or maybe it's Lamont. Maybe it depends which where you're from. We'll play the first line. Now let's play, there are a few dotted rhythms. So let's iron out the rhythm. We'll play without ornamentation and with equal quavers. Here we go. It's not a repeated first measure, so it's the first two lines. Here we go. 3 and 4. There we go. Now, to our chord playing friends, there's a little typo. The second chord of the tune, it's printed a D7 chord over G. This is what Glen has in his book, but I think you'd get on better if you change the D7 to a C. So the first two chords would be a chord of G and then a chord of C, with G in the bass. And it's the same for the first bar of line 2 as well. See what you think. The D7 would work in a sort of extended sort of 13th chord kind of harmony, but I think the C would probably be more stylistically appropriate. Right, back to the melody. It's a rather stately, elegant tune. It's quite wonderful, actually. But there are one or two places where there's a big jump, and we just have to know that they're coming up and try and prepare for them. So, for instance, in line 1, bar 3, there's a jump between the high C and then the low B. Now, on the fiddle, it's a challenge of string crossing. You're having to jump from a second finger on the A over to a second finger on the G. You're sort of leapfrogging the D string. So, let's just try that bar. Line 1, bar 3. Here we go. Still equal quavers. Ya dum, dee da 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 dee dum dum. 3 and 4. Now on the fiddle, you can use the high C to come off the string a little, and then that helps you navigate across the string. Let's just try it again. Bar 3. 3 and 4. And again, last time, 3 and 4. So the D string remains completely uninterfered with. There's another similar jump in line 2 between bars 3 and 4. So line 2, bar 3, you end on a high C, and the first note of bar 4 is a low A. So it's the same sort of jump, just going to the next note. So let's go from line 2, bar 3, and we'll play on to bar 4. Equal quaver still, 3 and 4. There we go. And if you use the fiddles, if you use the C as a sort of a jumping off point, you'll navigate that jump nicely. Just once more. Line 2, bar 3, 3 and 4. There we go. Piece of cake. While we're in line 2, bar 3, it's up to you, but I play the 4th note in this bar as a 4th finger. So that's the semiquaver A. So you're playing from the start of the bar, 2, 3, 3, 4, open 1, and it helps with the shape. Right, let's try from the beginning again. We'll keep the quavers equal just now, and we'll add the rhythm in next. From the top, 3 and 4. It just occurred to me, we discussed going down to the low note, but not back up to the high note. But on the fiddle, I don't think it's quite the same challenge going back up rather than having to jump down. So we'll just leave it at that. Okay, let's try now with the printed rhythm, but still without any ornamentation. 3 and 4. A couple of things about this. The dotted rhythm is swung. Tee-ta-tum-tum. So again, the semiquaver tends to be the upbeat. Tee-ta-tum-tum. When we've got groups of 4 semiquavers, for instance, in bar 2 and bar 4 on both lines. Tee-ta-tum, tee-ta-tum, tee-ta-tum. Try and avoid ta-ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta-tum. It's just a bit more interesting. And returning to these notes that are a big leap down, you just arrive on them with a lot of poise, and they have their own sort of gravitational pull. Tee-ta-tum, ta-da, tee-ta-tum, tee-tum. If you're playing it as a slow strathspey, you dwell on that note. You don't really want to dwell too much when it's for dancing, but bear it in mind. Okay, from the top again, with the rhythm but without the ornaments. 3 and 4. There you go. That's it with the rhythm. Now, the ornaments, they're scattered throughout the measure, mostly just single flicks. But let's look first at line 1, bar 4, where we've got this nice little roll at the start, and it just emphasizes that nice low note that we've arrived on. Let's just try that. So line 1, bar 4, first ornament, 3, 4, and fiddles. It'll help if you've got the bow resting on that bottom string for the first note of the ornament, the open G. Here we go, 3, 4, and this ornament is only really a 3rd finger flick, but we're anticipating it with an open G. So it's really just 1 3 1 A C A. Let's just try that. 1 3 1 and again. Last time. Now starting from the open. And that's that. Yeah. Now looking at these little flicks. If we stay in bar 4, we've got a little second finger flick on the second beat. Let's try that. And last time. Just once more. 3 4. That's the idea. Now, elsewhere, let's take a wee look at bar 2. Let me just play it and then we'll try it together. Tell you what, let's just give it a run like that. 3 4. This is another place where I use a fourth finger on that E, the third note of the bar. Okay, let's try it together. 3 4. Maybe a bit slower. 3 and 4. Once more and. And up to speed and. In the second line, the second bar is the same as above. And then we get to the fourth bar, and it's just a little third finger flick again. Just on that, that one of the final notes. Let's just try line 2, bar 4, from the ornament. And again. Now as a flick. And. There we go. Okay, so that takes care of the first measure. I tell you what, there's one other thing, we'll just cover it. If you're of the persuasion to be droning and ringing your strings, you can ring the bottom string every minute or so. Just in those first 2 bars, and then the same at the start of line 2. But I'll leave that up to you. It's not notated. Right, line 3, this is the second measure. Let's try it with equal quavers, but no ornamentation. Try and attend to the bowing. Okay, 3 and 4. So towards the end there, we've got that same jump down to the bottom string fiddles. It's lovely. This could be something, you know, from the Italian Baroque. It's inspired. It's yeah, it's very nice. Right, I indulged my desire for the straight slur in this second measure. It comes quite a lot. If you prefer, you can just play it as it comes. it requires a different bowing technique when you're using the straight slur. You're using the whole bow. But if you were to bow it as it comes, just up, down, down, up, down, up, you want to try and stay in the lower half. But you tend to travel up, and then you need to recover. Right. Once more from line 3. We'll add the rhythm in next, but let's keep it equal quavers for just now. 3 and 4. Couple of things. At the end of line 3, you have that crotchet D and followed by a quaver D. The quaver D has to be soft, weak, recessive. So it's strong, weak. Strong, weak. Let's just try that. 3, down, up, and. Resist the temptation to give the second D a nice kick. It just upsets the beautiful line that we're weaving. The other thing was line 3, bar 2. The last note of this bar is an upbeat to the high G. So the phrase really ends on the dotted quaver C, which is the penultimate note in the bar. Don't try and strong arm that little semiquaver A at the end of line 3, bar 2 into the previous phrase. Right, this time with the rhythm. There's not too much ornamentation, but we'll add that next. So no ornamentation, but rhythm is printed. Line 3, 3 and 4. I notice Donald's commented, hello everyone. We'll get to the chat bar in a sec, but I noticed Donald's commented, a testing little tune for the accordion, Ron. Yes, Donald, it's very violinistic. It's definitely idiomatic for the fiddle. Good luck. I look forward to when we can meet again and you can play your adapted accordion version. Or maybe once you've had a chance to spend 100 hours practicing it. Right, where were we? Yes. The thing about adding the rhythm is just getting the swing of the dotted rhythms and the shape of the 4 semiquavers. But we get to line 3, bar 2, and it's this sprite like a zephyr. Yum-ba-la-dum, diddle-diddle-diddle-dum. Yum-ba-la-dum, diddle-diddle-diddle. So let's just try that bar. At line 3, bar 2, I'll play it. And yes, Donald's saying Fiddler's Revenge. It sure is. Line 3, bar 2. Line 3, bar 2. Let's just try it. 3, 4. And again. Once more. And. There we go. Right, let's try the whole thing as printed from line 3, but still without ornaments. We'll add that next. 3 and 4. You have to really work for that big jump down to the low B. If you know that it's coming, you can anticipate it and then just do what you need to do. Right, there's not too much by way of ornamentation. It's more or less concentrated in line 3, bar 4. We've got a little third finger flick on the fiddle for the second quaver of the bar, and then that nice anticipatory C sharp on the third crotchet. Let's try it together. And again. One more time. Just with a bit more shape in the semiquavers. And then we go on. It's like a pastoral. It's delightful. It's William Shepherd. Right. The other ornaments will be fine, just little flicks. Let's move swiftly on to the reel. Miss Susan Elliott by Duncan McIntyre, family friend of the Gows, a London-based dancing master who ended his days in India, of all places. Right. Miss Susan Elliott. No ornaments, we'll add them in. There's only the one. But let's try it nice and steady. 3 and 4. Let's just look at the ornament straight away. It's just a third finger flick fiddles on that first crotchet. 3, 4. And. That's the idea. Right. It plays itself, but the second bar is quite interesting, just for the contour of the pitch, because we've got the high G on the second crotchet of the bar, and then the high A on the third crotchet, and it just creates a bit of interest. There's an internal sort of rhythm going on, something like that. So you just want to emphasize those high notes. Right, here we go with the ornament from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Now, usually at the second measure, so we're on to line 2 now, it usually goes up. But this is a reel in reverse. It starts up in the first measure, and we get to the second measure and we're down. So back to the slower tempo. Let's just give it a sight read. 3 and 4. Now, as usual, when we're sight reading the reel, try and pair the quavers. It'll help. Dee-da, dee-da, da. It's interesting. Something we haven't really talked about is the pairing, the matching of the tune pairs, because it's all Glen, and oftentimes there's little hints. So we had this in the Strasbourg, we had this big jump down onto the bottom string, and here we are in the reel. on the bottom string. So it's perhaps a little insight into his decision making, matching the strathspey with the reel. Maybe not. It might be a completely arbitrary process. All the tunes in G, oh, there we go. But I don't think so. Right. Second measure again. So this is Miss Susan Elliott, line 2, 3, and 4. There you go. Right. As usual, short shrift paid to the reel, but the strathspey is where the sort of depth of interpretation can come out particularly strongly. Right. Set 91 then. Let's give it a spin at steady tempo. Miss Lamont of Lamont and Miss Susan Elliott. Almost like a march. Here we go. 3 and 4. Something like that. Quicker then. 1, 2, 3, 4.